was in the game plan to shoot 22 threes, get 2 out of 22.
Well, how about all you people that said the game's passed me by, we need to shoot more threes? You still think so? Maybe we should shoot 30 and go 2 for 30. Here's one thing I will tell you, that I watched the tape of Ole Miss, and I'm telling you that the job, they have done what they did to us to every team. They had Auburn down 19, and Auburn did some stuff, made it close, and all of a sudden they missed a couple shots. The last 3 games, they won by an average of 20. And I told Kermit after the game, he was coach of the year last year in our league. He may be coach of the year again this year in our league. When you, look, to me, coaching is when things go wrong, how are you now? It's easy when you're winning games and you got, but when stuff goes bad, well, how do you bring people together? And what he's doing is amazing. And so, you know, we didn't, I don't want to take away from them. When you shoot 2 for 23, at halftime, folks, we were 1 for 13. And from 3 feet, we were 1 for 10. How are you in the game? Like, I walked out and said, you know what, I'm happy we're in the game. And then we have dumb fouls down the stretch, and they make them. And we fight to win. Nick didn't play particularly well. EJ didn't play particularly well. Keon got bounced around until the last 2 rebounds, the biggest 2 rebounds of the game, and his 2 free throws ended the game. I'll give you another one that's great for him. I told him, it doesn't matter. You have to play to win. You cannot be into you. You got to be about this team. The other one was Tyrese. You know, everybody talking. Well, how did he shoot it today? Did you see the last wide open 3 he had? He missed it, left. There was no one near him now. And it went hard left. 2 weeks ago, he'd have had his head back and ran back. 2 weeks later, playing to win, he runs down the ball and shoots the layup that may have won the game for us. Versus, I can't believe I did that, I'm embarrassed, high school. You don't. And the same thing, you're down 6 or 7, who cares? Just play. Biggest thing I keep coming back to, these teams are trying to out-rough us, and we just got to get lower, and we got to be prepared and just say we're not going to accept that.
Start middle back, work our way to left. Okay, yeah.
Just talk about how good Quickly was down the stretch.
Again, he missed every jump shot too now. And then he made his free throws. He came up with balls. Tyrese dove on the floor for a ball. Nick made free throws. How many of you were sitting there saying 7-footer can't make 4 in a row? And he makes 4 in a row. Bam, 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 bam. I mean, and that's after they're making every free throw. And we're fouling people. Like I said, this was like a rock fight. Ended up being a great win. You know, do you shoot 2 for 22? And I can't imagine how many 1-footers we missed, but a bunch, and still win the game. I'm happy as heck. Move on, next game. I'll say it again, these kids are not computers and they're not robots. This is not a fantasy league. This is not on a computer. This is real stuff. They don't play great every night, but you can play to win. You don't have to play great every night. And you can get pushed around for 3/4 of the game, but the last part of the game, you play to win. What does this team need me to do?
Kyle on the right.
Now these last 7 games, Ashton's shooting about 35%. I think he's had 4 or more turnovers in 5 of those 7 games. Something's obviously off.
He was better last game. He struggled a little bit this game. He got beat up a little bit, but he's fine. He's the least of our worries. Ashton is my point guard, and I'm with him. The one thing I do know, he'll fight to win a game. He wasn't great at the end of this game. Very rarely does he make mistakes at the end. Usually he will come up with the ball, the steal, the rebound to win the game. He didn't today. You know, he and I talked in my office about it. Like, hey, you know, a lot of it's just a mentality that he wasn't playing well. When he fouled out, we won without him, basically. And we were down, you know, he gave him that, that foul near half court. But like I said, he's fine. And I say this about him, he's not a robot either. He'll have bad games. I don't know of anybody that's not going to every once in a while cop a bad game. It happens.
Jerry and Larry on the left.
John, at halftime, did you have to remind them again about Nick and getting him more involved?
No, what I said is you're 1 for 13 from the 3, and not one of them contested. You've missed 9 one-foot shots. You're 1 for 10 from 3 feet, and you're in the game. You're down 2. So let's go. I mean, basically what I said. And then we didn't want to throw Nick the ball because he couldn't catch the ball. The guy muscled him. Couldn't get it, couldn't make it. If they blew on him, he was throwing his head around, and I said, we were going to go back to our guards. It's not your day, Nick. Let's go to the guards. So basically said exactly opposite of what you would have suggested, Jared.
Stay on left, Larry.
Okay. John, you talked about Emmanuel wouldn't make shots. Yet the last 11 minutes, he scores 13 points for you. When he had to make shots, he did.
We had
What's that kind of say about
two
him?
breakdowns that he and Tyrese made shots versus the zone, and we broke down. We didn't screen. We end up having to just throw something at the rim, and they both went in. Again, a will to win, like a will to win. EJ on Tyrese's missed bank wide open 3, fought for the ball, got on his back, and he threw it. That's a will to win. He threw it to Tyrese, who makes the layup. This, as you go through seasons, and all you want to see your team is fight. They're not going to be perfect. They're not making every shot. They're going to have bad shooting nights. You just want to see them fight. And I would guess our fans, just fight. You know, don't get pushed around. Just fight. And if the other team, we've had teams come in here and make every shot, and okay, you lost. You know, crowd was great today. I didn't want to go out to the radio because I imagine there's 100 balls I would have to sign. But this has been this was one of our great crowds of the season. So I am exhausted. Going to walk out there and sign all those balls because I just think kind of owe it to the fans who showed up for this one. And now we got the rest of the road for us. Whew. Whew. Ellen says that. That's Ellen's word. Woof.
They were on the right here.
John, this thing you do every year with the young guys, how hard is it to push them past thinking my identity is tied to points per game? How hard is that, Jerry?
It's ridiculous, and it doesn't stop. Because what do you think they're hearing when they get on a phone? What do you think Brad's hearing? Why didn't you shoot more? From me. He's my son. Why did that guy pass it and this and if they take Brad out of the game, I go grab something to eat. I'm not watching that game. I could care less. I'm a father too. So and I know what they're hearing. To be man enough to understand and to not be delusional. Know where I got to go with it. It's hard. But the guys here, the one thing they learn in Kentucky is to fight, because everybody's playing us like that team played us. If you don't learn to fight, you got to go it ain't working. And the guys that learn to fight, they go from here, and all of a sudden everybody's talking about it.
2 more guys. Michael on the left.
John, how good is Bree and Tyree, and did your players play the defense you wanted to against him?
We did, but he's playing so well right now. He was scoring 30 a game for 3 games, and it may have been more than that, may have been 37. But they were not just threes. He got them from 2s, pull-ups, he got them from layups, he got them from free throws, and he got them from 3. Like, I watched tape, and I was like, how many did he end up with? 19, I'm so happy he scored 19. And all we were trying to do, make it hard for him, because he's going to get points, because he's that good a player. He has really improved, consistent, defending better. I mean, he's really gotten better.
End it off in the middle.
Against the zone, do you feel like you settle too often for threes, or are those good looks?
Probably, but Nick wasn't really good in the post. And we did some stuff to go to him, but we did settle for threes. And if you know, this team would probably tell you, let's shoot 15 or 16. Let's not get to 22. If we got to 30, we'd have lost this game. So, almost lost it shooting 22.
All right, thanks, folks.